Here's how Invincible would look as a live-action movie. And to be clear, creator Robert Kirkman is adamant that a live-action movie is bound to happen, so using the wonders of AI, let's see what we can come up with, huh? Huh, gang? Let's get to it. First up, Mark Grayson. He's portrayed by Steven Yeun in the show, and so there's the easiest place to start. What might Yeun look like as a live-action Invincible? Well, like Steven Yeun in a mask, of course. Seriously though, I can see it. It's worth noting that Mark isn't defined as Asian American in the comics, but was rather assumed to be by fans. This led to the character being made Korean American in the show. Robert Kirkman essentially heard those fan assumptions and went, sure, okay, why not? Still, since it's been established in the show, we'll stick to Asian Americans for this casting. Korean-Italian actor and model Alex Landi is perhaps best known for his role of Dr. Nico Kim on Grey's Anatomy. He's got a youthful appearance that could work for Mark. The Taiwanese-American Ian Chin played a Eugene Choi in Shazam and its sequel Fury of the Gods. At 18, he's the most age-appropriate choice for the character. That said, the adult version of Choi, played by 34-year-old Ross Butler, could also work in the role. Now at 41 years old, I think Yeun might be too old for the live-action version of Mark Grayson, despite him being a phenomenal actor. Mad props. Alex Landi is perhaps a decade younger and has the look pretty much down, so I'm gonna call it there. Alex Landi wins this round. Alex Landi? Landi? I don't know. I didn't look up a thing. Next up, Omni-Man. He's voiced by J.K. Simmons in the show, and while Simmons is suitably jacked, he's also perhaps a little old for the live-action show. Still, let's see what he'd look like just for poops and giggles. Yeah, alright. J. Jonah Jameson about to fuck some people up. I've seen some folks recommend John Hamm for the role, including our very own Emma Wagner, who previously wrote about the same topic. And as a diehard Mad Men fan, I wholeheartedly endorse this casting choice. At very least, he can wear that mustache like a champ. Seriously, have you seen him in that movie Corner Office? It's like an alien creature attached to his upper lip. It's amazing. Crap, sorry, where was I? What was I talking about? Henry Cavill has also been posited for the role. He easily wins the competition of most obscenely jacked, and he did rock one hell of a stash from Mission Impossible Fallout. Then there's Supernatural's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, whose comic book bona fides kinda speak for themselves, and he even looks a lot like Omni-Man. Out of all three, it's a tough call as they each bring something distinct to the role, but darn it, once you see John Hamm's mustache in Corner Office, you can't unsee it. The role goes to John Hamm. Now, there are a few roles I think you could cast with the actors from the show. Sandra Oh as Debbie Grayson, Walton Goggins as Cecil Stedman, Zachary Quinto as Robot, and Seth Rogen as Alan the Alien. There's really no reason to look for anyone else in those roles. Gillian Jacobs is a bit old to portray Adam Eve, but we'll throw her into the ring for the sake of totally top-shelf, not at all half-assed AI. A more appropriate contender is Sadie Sink, who at 22 is closer in age to the character. She also just looks really young. For my third choice, I'm going to go with ScreenRant's previous pick for the role, Haley Steinfeld, who previously played a hero in Hawkeye as Kate Bishop. In fact, out of those three, let's go with Haley. Why not? Then there's the Mauler twins. I've seen everyone cast Dwayne Johnson in the role, and I get it. He's a big, muscly, bald dude with some pretty solid comedic chops. But hear me out. What about Samson Dauda? He's the current Mr. Olympia, looks great bald, and perhaps most importantly, comes off as pretty charismatic in his vlogs and interviews. This leads me to believe that he might have some acting abilities waiting to be uncovered. He's also, I really can't stress this enough, one of the biggest bodybuilders of all time. If a director can get a performance out of him, then we may have a winner. Or winners. Because they're twins, you get it. Ooh. How about the Viper, WWE superstar Randy Orton? He'd also make for a great option as he's got lots of experience playing both a face and a heel, not unlike The Rock. He's also big and, bald. You know what? The fans are probably right. Let's go with Dwayne Johnson. Although I'm telling you, y'all are sleeping on Samson Dauda. Man's a beast. Anyway, as far as plot goes, it's all kinda right there, isn't it? We've followed the same broad beats as season 1, but in a film format that sits just a little over 2.5 hours. The son of Omni-Man, Mark Grayson, finally gets his powers and joins his father in superheroics. Meanwhile, Omni-Man does the unthinkable and kills off the Guardians of the Globe in a truly spectacular and bloody fashion. This leads to an investigation by Cecil and the GDA, as well as Damian Darkblood, as portrayed by David Harbour, obviously. Around the same time, Mark comes up with his new superhero name and joins the teen team, and shortly thereafter, the new Guardians of the Globe. We'd skip or heavily cut down some plot lines like the Machine Head plotline and introduction of Battle Beast. There'd still be some of the high school drama featuring Kit Connor as William Clockwell and Yara Shahidi as Amber Bennett. But again, we'd focus more on the question of why Omni-Man committed his heinous crime, which will serve as the twist. It's nothing terribly imaginative, but I'd honestly just like to see an abridged live-action version of Season 1. And as far as any major differences we'd expect to see in a live-action adaptation, I don't think there's a whole lot that'd need to be changed in the transition. Invincible is essentially an animated version of The Boys, in so much as how it handles violence and comedy. So imagine The Boys with about $150 million production budget, a crapload of aliens who age really fast, and a generally brighter look. Throw in a weird Hellboy copycat, and you've got yourself live-action Invincible. So yeah, that's all I've got. I think that a live-action feature film version of Invincible would be totally doable with where we're at with superhero action and R-rated comic book adaptations. It could definitely risk being too quick in its pacing with all the story that needs to get crammed into the tight runtime, but beyond that, there's nothing too iconic about the cartoon version that would detract from whatever a live-action version might look like. What do you think? Could live-action Invincible work? Are we ready for that awesomeness? Let me know in the comments who you'd cast in what roles, and until next time, thank you for watching ScreenRant. I didn't look up a thing.